Hi, it's Terry from No Crumbs Left, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a Thai coconut soup. Absolutely delicious. Let's go. I first saw a spin on this soup in Melissa Hartwick's Whole30 cookbook, and this is my spin on her dish. Here's some of what goes into it. Homemade chicken stock, coconut milk, vegetables. I'm going to flavor the broth with both turmeric and ginger. Some of the aromatics that lay the foundation for the soup are green onions, garlic, lemongrass, and spicy pepper. And then I'm going to finish it off with cilantro, coconut aminos, and lime. So this is what I do. Blend it. And look what you have. Now you've got kind of a masterpiece, and it's much easier now to measure that, isn't it? Now don't overthink the vegetables. You could put in broccoli. I like broccolini, but you could do so many different things. And let's just cut it up so that we can make it a nice hearty soup and you can just have a one dish entree. In the recipe, you can use any mushroom you want. I say to slice up the mushrooms, but tell you the truth, I like doing them whole. There's something about it. It feels so satisfying as an entree for dinner. It's a little tricky with lemongrass, but you want to take anything that's kind of woody out and you want to be sure you're left with something that is bendable. This right here, let's cut that off. All of this we're going to chop up. Same thing here. Let's pop out anything that's really tough. Then you cut it up and you wind up with something like this. When it's really small, it's going to be great for the aromatics, and I wish you could smell this because it's amazing. Okay, a couple of tablespoons of clarified butter, and these should be sizzling any second. Got my pan hot. I've added coconut oil, and while those mushrooms are cooking, here's the fun part. Let's throw it all in. The green onions, the garlic, the lemongrass, and you can either use jalapenos or a Thai spicy pepper. And let's get, so I've got my salt all measured out, and what I'm gonna do is just every time I do a part of the recipe, add some, and in the end, I should hopefully use it all up. Let's add the chicken broth. So now I'm flipping them over. You wanna let them get brown on the one side. And that's part of the reason I like to do a whole mushroom rather than trying to flip lots of little pieces. So I'm gonna add the chicken breast. I forgot to tell you, boneless breast of chicken, which is how this is an entree. And I'm gonna add this. Let's bring it back to heat, and then let's simmer it for 8 to 10 minutes. We want it just before it's done because we're gonna put it back in. Go back and check on our mushrooms. I got them all flipped. They're nice and brown, and I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and then just finish them for about another minute here. And then we can just set these aside. Here's what you want. You want it moving, but not like seriously crazy boiling. And this is 8 minutes. I would pull them out at 8 to 10 minutes. They're gonna be a little bit pink inside, but I'm gonna pull them apart and stick them back in the soup. So I'm gonna pull the chicken apart. Now some parts are gonna be done and some parts are going to be pinker, but that's okay. You don't want overdone chicken, and you're gonna stick it back in and it's gonna come to heat. And you can do any shape you want here. I've added the coconut milk, and then I'm going to take the ginger here. It's grated, and I'm going to just squeeze it and get a gentle ginger flavor. I did the same thing with the turmeric already, and it's going to flavor this broth nicely, and I actually toss out the pulp. Coconut aminos, lime juice. You can add the cilantro in now, or you can wait. The next step is we're just going to poach this lovely broccolini right in this beautiful broth. And really, you want it nice and green, so let's just poach it about a minute, and then I'm going to add the chicken back in. But you're feeling a little jealous of this. I'm going to add the chicken back in, but not before I salt it. I'm going to salt it and sort of toss it together. And now I'm going to stick it back in, and let's bring it up to heat. So let's put that chicken back in. Oh, this smells amazing. And it's just going to take about a minute. Now the chicken's pulled apart, and let's add the mushrooms in. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to try this. This is an absolute must. And here goes mushrooms. What I love about the recipe is you can totally change it up depending on what you have, what you like. I mean, you could do it with kale or a different green. Truth is, you could do it with cauliflower. Now I've tried it, and I'm like, nope, all the salt needs to go, and I like to make sure before. But this is such a pleaser, and you could absolutely do it on top of cauliflower rice or just as it is, and it's definitely a one-dish meal. So wonderful to serve with lime. I like to finish with green onions. and a little bit of cilantro. And if you're more of a basil person, you can add that too, or just leave out the herbs. And by the way, I'm doing lots of step-by-steps over at No Crumbs Left all the time, so definitely come visit me because we're having fun.